is about bringing creativity to some of the most deprived children in the country. And what we're asking for is the opportunity for a STEAM code day at our school.
Creativity is really what it is to be human, isn't it?
How we as the marketing industry, how we can tackle the really important subjects that matter to us as human beings as well as to marketeers.
If we're going to outpace the robots, then the sense of empathy and creativity and problem solving and all that stuff becomes more important. And on our watch, if we're not careful, the very things that you're saying you value and I value so much for my children are being squeezed out.
We're gonna work this out because this can't go on for anymore.
If we want to advocate for creativity in our places of learning and in our workplaces, we need to connect.
My God, that sounds like the complete setup, right?
We are leaving the industrial economy and entering the connection economy. You don't have to like it, but it's true. Art is what we call it when someone does something that might connect us to someone else.
I hope you really think about those STEAM skills.
So what we really need to do is get into primary schools, get into schools and get kids young to start teaching them not only about the options which might be available and open to them later on in their lives, but also preparing them for a world where 40% of current jobs are going to disappear. So what are the skills which are going to be most relevant to people going forward?
What we're doing is we're looking for companies to pay for what we call pop-up STEAMco kits, almost like a UN survival kit that gets helicoptered into Tottenham, or helicoptered into an estate in the middle of Cornwall, or gets helicoptered into Northumbria, so that the community can pick this kit up and go and inspire their children with creativity. We've got some guys here from your favourite store, a digital agency in Shoreditch, who are closing for the day, and they're going to go down to a school and they're going to inspire those kids with creativity, because not every school is as cosy as my school in Paddington. Not every school's got parents they can draw on.
This has been the most amazing day, absolutely amazing. Our Year 4 and Year 5 children are having an incredible time with a whole range of activity, coding, artwork, designing, a really amazing day.
I wish for you to stand up for what you care about.
I'm doing some spin painting. Centrifugal force does it.
What has carried me is creativity. Creativity is not the monopoly of artists. You can be a businessman and a poet, you can be a lawyer and a poet, you can be a doctor and a poet. It's true.
I'm absolutely pleased that your favourite story, the digital company, has provided a team of experts to support our children. And they have been amazing. They have allowed our children to have an opportunity that they wouldn't normally have. And now our children have real ideas about what is possible out there in that field.
When greatness walks into the room, greatness does not have to announce itself.
I've had a really fun day teaching children to microbit code. I didn't really sort of have many skills on that myself until today, but I've learned and so have the children. It's been great.
Bonkers or useful invention ideas. You might be wondering what I'm wearing on my head. Well, this is a reverse listening device that I made from tubes and kitchen funnels. Okay, I've shown you some of my invention ideas, but I want to challenge you to come up with your own invention ideas.
The very essence of greatness is caught by young people. That's why they're addicted to artists. They're addicted to footballers because they don't question their creativity, they just allow it to flow.
I'm a designer by trade, and what we're doing here today is we are inventing flying vehicles, not so much aeroplanes, something that flies and propels through the air.
We've been asking the kids today to build their dream school of the future. We've given them a massive Lego set, we've given them 20 minutes, we've had them create these incredible nirvanas of education. We've had sharks and we've had kings and we've had princesses and we've had uber technological advances for education. It's just unleashed so much in these children. It's been so much fun.
I just made a rocket and I can't wait to fly it.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's very educational.
One of the greatest drivers for our achievement here in this community is our parents and their involvement in their children to give their children better life chances. And today we've had parents and members of the community coming in to help us. Our Year year ago when I spoke at the Barclay Tower, I said creativity is a luxury because of the focus on the basic skills that we have to consider in our community. But what I also said is that as a community, we may be broke, but we're not broken. And that is showing here today. It has been a day to remember.
The kids have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we've learned so much too.
And I would recommend this to anyone, any head teacher, any school in the country. Just go for it. You won't regret it. It'll be a day to remember.
I love art because it's creative. I love art because it's creative and you can just use your imagination.
That's why we spell STEM with an A. The children are going to take this passport home tonight and they're going to sit down with their parents and tell them about the day they had. They're going to tell them the Homer Hickam Rocket Boy story. They're going to ask them some of the questions about Elon Musk and Tesla, see if they know who the first Briton in space was, and tell them about the microbit that they learnt to code today. Hundreds of children today learnt to code the BBC microbit. It's phenomenal. It's been an amazing day. Seeing these children really use their imagination, celebrate creativity, and to power this community to inspire their children with creativity. That's what we do at STEAMco, because we believe it takes a whole village to inspire a child.
There are many brilliant kids in schools who think they're not because they don't have to be particularly interested or good at academic work. And actually, if you left the world to academics, we'd be going off a cliff really quickly. The world needs people who can do practical, vocational things and who love doing that. Politicians tend to focus on the things that they think are going to be of most use economically. Science, technology, engineering and math. And they are important. It's what I keep trying to say. These are a necessary but not a sufficient condition for an education system. But it's also important we should involve them in the arts. I mean, if you want to understand yourself and the cultures around you, you have to engage with music and art and poetry and dance. And by the way, for some people, this is their love. This is what they're good at. This is where they come alive. This is what motivates them to do anything with their lives. And so what people are arguing that's behind your work, Nick, which I admire greatly and I'm very grateful for, is to put A into STEM so it becomes STEAM. But it's really just another way of saying, can we please have a balanced curriculum and not a narrow, obsessively linear curriculum? Civilization is a race between education and catastrophe.